Alright, here we are for Owl Fight Club week number 1. We are taking on the beachside beat drills. Hope you like the layout. Looks a little bit different than it looks a lot like the IPA one, but different. So yeah, hope you guys like that. And looking at the team preview, we see that he's got a rain team, and then he's also got Coco plus Raichu, and Hoop Unbound and Ninjask, which is something I did not prep for whatsoever. So, because I'm pretty sure he can't pass like even a substitute with Ninjask, so I don't think that thing's coming. But you never know, I guess. Um, it does outspeed everything ever because it's got like base 160 speed, which is crazy. So it could come, but I don't think it will. Um, but yeah, anyway, he's got a rain team, obviously. My only criticism about this team is that he pretty much has to run rain if he's going to do anything. I really see him bringing rain against me, and because he's got 4 water types, 2 of them water dragon, and then he's got Ferrothorn. He's got the dry skin Toxicroak. He can hit thunders with Coco and Raichu, although Raichu will probably be running rising voltage every single time. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It just seems a little bit one-dimensional to me. But watch us get 6-0. So, not saying that I'm gonna win at all, because I have not yet. I'm yet to win a league battle on this channel. So we're gonna hope to get our first win this week number 1. Definitely gonna try to get off on a good note. I think I have a better team than in the IPA. Still a little bit questionable with some things, but that's okay. So yeah, let me just top right into the team. First, we got Choice Scarf Vanillux. Really super easy bring for me this week because Freeze Dry hits 4 of his mons 4 times super effective, which is crazy. Blizzard just hits everything hard. He doesn't have any resistances to Blizzard. Frost Breath is basically Ice Beam. It does the same amount, but it always gets a crit. There's no reason not to run it because he doesn't have anything with the ability like Shell Armor or anything like that. I guess I could change it to Ice Beam because Ice Beam can freeze. Yeah, let me do that. Let me just change it right now. I did make this team like, I don't know, a few days ago, so if I change stuff, it's not, I don't think I'm gonna change anything else, but yeah, just in case I get a freeze with that thing. Excuse me. But I probably will just be going for Blizzard and Freeze Dry. I have Roarville there, very situational if I think that I can set up and win with something else and not with Vanillux, then we can go for that. But basically, I'm just going to be clicking Blizzards as much as possible, and yeah, and I can Freeze Dry against everything on his team. I outspeed Dracovish no matter what. I outspeed everything no matter what, as long as they're not scarfed. Oh, okay, well, Swift Swim, Mega Swampert, and Swift Swim Kingdra, and Surge Surfer Raichu I can't outspeed, but other than that, so yeah, I think this thing has a great matchup. This is probably the best matchup Vanillux will ever have. And yeah, anyway, yeah, I think it's a really good matchup. Okay, Zero is next, Assault Vest, with Volt Switch, Plasma Fist, Grass Knot, and Drain Punch. Pretty standard, pretty obvious of what I'm trying to do here. Just try to outrun his whole team, minus the Ninjask, of course. Swift Swim and Surge Surfer is a different story. We won't be able to outspeed him anyway, so we might as well just go with this. I'll probably be leading with this, like, pretty much 10 out of 10 times. No matter what he brings, I'll lead with this thing and just Volt Switch out. If he leads Pelipper, I could Volt Switch, but he could bring in Swampert, but that's okay. I'd rather that happen than him going to Ferrothorn and me click Grass Knot and just do nothing to it. And then I got a Volt Switch, and then he can go for Rocks or something like that. So yeah, 52 in Special Attack. I think we have a chance to OHKO Swampert. Like if a Mega Swampert switches in. Cause I think he gets heavier when he Mega Evolves. So that's good. Plasma Fists hits everything else pretty much. So yeah, no knockoff for Raichu. I know that this thing's pretty decent against Raichu, but Plasma Fist does its job just as easily pretty much. So yeah, that's gonna be okay. This is enough speed to outspeed a Jolly Scarfed Dracovish. So, because I know that thing's gonna be a problem. I have 0 switch-ins to a Dracovish on this team. I just don't. Not many teams do, especially in the rain. No, I have no switch-ins. There's no way. Also, don't have many switch-ins to Alolan Raichu, which is something to keep in mind. So, next up we got Deja Vu, our Manaphy. This is for Kingdra. Other than Kingdra, I didn't have any switch-ins, but now that I have this thing, I can switch into a Life Orb Kingdra. I should be able to take 2 Dracos from, and then I can rest. The thing with rest is that if the rain is up, right, the situation I'm seeing myself in is that Pelipper comes in, goes for U-turn on something, gets Kingdra in. I switch to Manaphy, he goes for Draco. Because he's -2, I take another one, and then I rest, and I get back up to full, and then I'm in a good position to Tail Blow. He'll probably be running Damp Rock on Pelipper, so I have a lot of turns of being able to rest off damage. The Wackenberry helps me take hits from Raichu and Koko, so that I don't have to, you know, he'll have to predict. I won't have to predict anything because I can stay in against both of those. Especially with my Spit F, I should be able to take any hit from either of those, except for Wild Charge. Koko, like Banded Wild Charge from Koko could do a lot of damage. But yeah, Togo, and then Scald and Dazzling Gleam, that's the coverage I want. I want to be able to hit Dracovish. I want to be able to hit Toxicroak, because that thing gets Dry Skin. And what else? I don't know. I mean, I don't have much for Ferrothorn, but Ferrothorn doesn't have much for me unless it has like Power Whip. So we're good. We're good with that. Next up is Mandibuzz, fully physically defensive. This thing has a lot on its shoulders this week. I gotta be able to switch into Ferrothorn, Mega Swampert, Hoopa, Toxicroak, Ninjask. You know, maybe even Dracovish if it's not in the rain. Hopefully I can take 2 hits. Probably not, but it is what it is. Yeah, I had Rocky Helmet on this thing. I changed it to Boots because if that Ferrothorn's played well and it gets rocks up, I don't want to be taking 25% just to come in. That could be really bad, so I want to have the Boots on so I can defog the rocks. Because me and my team, I am kind of weak to rocks, so if I don't have some way of removing those rocks. So yeah, then I got Roost, Foul Play, and U-turn. Pretty obvious what I'm trying to do here. Foul Play hits Mega Swampert really well. It does like 45% to it. I mean, it hits pretty much everything. I can U-turn because I know he's probably gonna want to switch against my Mandibuzz. Only way I lose to Mega Swampert is getting flinched out by Waterfall or getting frozen by Ice Punch. So let's hope neither of those happen because that would suck. Because Mega Swampert is an issue. And Toxicroak can be. If that's not Nasty Plot Toxicroak, it's probably gonna be a big deal, like a big problem. So anyway, yeah, Mandibuzz is. If this game goes the way I want it to, Mandibuzz is probably gonna be the MVP. Next up, we got Fiesta Typhlosion. Now you may be thinking, on a rain team, why would you bring Typhlosion, which is a fire type? I got to be able to switch into Ferrothorn 100% of the time, and this is basically what this Typhlosion is for. I know it can body slam or body press, which will do a good amount to me, but I am maxing. Actually, let me change this so that I don't have an even HP. Okay, can I change? Okay, there we go. Let's put it in defense. But yeah, with this set, I can switch into Ferrothorn, and if the rain's up, I can go for Sunny Day, and then take really any hit. I have max HP to be able to take some hits. So let's say, I don't know, if Pelipper comes in, I can Sunny Day, and then I can Toxic, or Voice Crack, I can Toxic that thing. And if it Scalds, it's not doing too much damage. Like, I can take a Scald even in the rain. So I'm not concerned about that. Solar Beam can hit Mega Swampert really hard. Like, if he brings in Mega Swampert, and I go for Sunny Day, then the sun's up and I can Solar Beam. Only problem is in one of my mocks, I went for a Solar Beam as he brings in Pelipper, and then I'm locked into Solar Beam. And that's when I take that big Scald that will kill me if I'm at like 80% or so. It's even, I mean, it'll OHKO me if he brings like Hydro Pump or something, or has like Investment. So that's something I gotta keep in mind. If he knows I have Solar Beam, then he's gonna definitely switch into Pelipper, predicting that. Like in that specific scenario where I get a Sunny Day up as he goes into Mega Swampert. So that's why I have Toxic there. And then Lava Plume. It has a 30% chance to burn, which is great, and also I don't really need, as long as I get decent damage off on Ferrothorn, I'm good. Like, I don't need to kill it with this thing, I just need to do a lot of damage, and even in the rain, Lava Plume does a lot of damage to that thing. Last but not least, we got Licky, Lurker Lurker. This thing's great for Coco. It's great for, I really needed something for Alolan Raichu. I can deal with especially offensive Hoopa pretty well with this thing. Can't do so much against Ferrothorn, but it does have Wish, it does have Heal Bell, so if we get burned by Scalds from Pelipper or Kingdra, or if we just get toxicked by something, Heal Bell's there. I don't really need anything else. I mean, maybe I can run on a Flamethrower, but this thing, like I said, I already have Typhlosion for Ferrothorn, so yeah, this is the set. Body Slam can para, which is awesome. So I first I had Thunder Wave instead of Heal Bell, but then I changed it because I'm like, okay, I might be able to parry even with Body Slam. So, and I'd rather have the Cleric there. So, big fat Wish Passer that can really help out and support the team when need be. Can you see that? No. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna cut right to the battle. Hopefully it's live, but if it's not, so be it. And yeah, we'll see you then. All right, here we are in the battle. Basically, team preview, you see Tapu Koko, Swampert, Pelipper, Hoopa Unbound, Ferrothorn, and Kingdra. Now, I did change my mana feed to physically defensive um, because I thought it dealt with Dracovish better. I didn't really, it dealt with Kingdra anyway, even if it was like Modest Life Orb, I could deal with it, even by being physically defensive, so that changed. I don't think anything else changed between the team builder and the battle, so yeah, he didn't even bring Dracovish though, and he didn't bring Raichu, which I'm kind of glad he didn't. So, looking at the team, I mean, Hoopa can be a problem. I didn't really prep for it, honestly, because I just saw bigger threats. But we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna leave with Zero Aura because it's always my switch, or it's always my lead. He leads Ferrothorn, so I'm gonna Volt Switch. Pretty easy play there. And I go into Typhlosion as he goes for Power Whip and misses, so great start to the season for us. Look at Typhlosion, he's ready to go. I admire the guy. Okay, I predict the Pelipper go for Toxic, so that's pretty solid, I get Toxic on this thing. I'm gonna Sunny Day because I really don't think this thing can do much. It actually goes for a Toxic back. I guess predicting any hit. I mean, Toxic gets on the team, so I guess why not? Alright, I'm gonna go into Kingdra. I'm actually not sure. I had this battle last night. I don't even remember a lot of it. So I go for the Solar Beam there just because I wanted to stay and get a lot of damage on Pelipper. If I can weaken the Pelipper, that's great because that means he can't set up the rain as much. He goes for Draco. Does not a lot of damage to Licky, so that's great. Now he has Life Orb. I'm just surprised it did that little. So yeah, I think I go for Wish here. I go for Wish because just an easy play here. So that if I do switch in anything and it takes damage, I can get my health back. So he goes into the Tapu Koko here, as I just go for the Body Slam on the Pelipper, because I was hoping to, you know, if I take like a Hurricane, I can Body Slam, I'll get my health back. I didn't want to switch in anything, so he goes for Play Rough as I go for another Body Slam. That is Adamant Banded, so now I can just switch into my defensive Manaphy. When I saw he didn't bring Dracovish, I'm like, okay, well, Manaphy's kind of useless here. But then I'm like, well, since this thing's Choice Banded, I can actually bring in Manaphy and be pretty good to go here. So I'm gonna go into Manaphy. I go for Protect just to get some lefties back, as he was your player off at this 46, so not that bad. Goes into Ferrothorn as I just Scald. I do snag a burn here, which is, or do I? No, it's the next time. Sorry about that, because I get a burn at some point, so you know that now. But I just go into Typhlosion here is my best play. He's gonna have Rocks. That's okay. I do have Boots, Defog, Mandibuzz, so that's good. Typhlosion is gonna be able to sit in here. I think I just go for the Lava Plume. Yeah, I want to get some damage off on anything. Was hoping for a burn here, did not get it. The rain stops, so that's great. I go into Zero Aura here because I can't bring in Licky. He goes for the play or the flip turn. If he had just like gone for a Draco there, it probably would have been his best play. But Now he goes into Ferrothorn. I'm gonna Volt Switch out again. I could Drain Punch, but I just decided against it. He actually doubles into Coco, which I'm kind of surprised by. He didn't really need to do that. Electric Terrain doesn't really do much for him. Well, I guess it does in this case. You're gonna find out here soon. I go into Mana Buzz. It's because I didn't think he had much for it at this point. As he goes with Thunderbolt and kills me, so I was wrong. I didn't have any switch-ins anyway. I mean, I guess I could go into Zero predicting that, but I didn't think about it. So go for Drain Punch predicting Ferrothorn to come in. Does not work. So and then now he goes into Ferrothorn as I just Plasma Fist. And, yeah. So my Zero is down. Played that absolutely terribly as usual. I guess I bring in Typhlosion again. I don't have the boot, so I'm gonna be taking a lot of damage. And here I'm kind of on the back foot, obviously. So I go for the Sunny Day. I know I don't have too many more turns with this thing, honestly, because of the sun and everything. I just go for Solar Beam. Now if he switches into Pelipper there, predicting that, I just lose my Typhlosion right there. So after that whole thing with the Zero Aura, I was kind of just frustrated, so I was just clicking moves, which is again one of the faults of my play, which I understand. I just don't care enough to change it. I go to Manaphy because that's a pretty good switch against this thing, as I can rest off any kind of damage. He goes into Ferrothorn. I believe I just click Scald. No, I do click the rest. Okay, because I was thinking, okay, if he is gonna switch, I might as well get back to full health in case he brings in like Hoopa or something. Which Hoopa would not have been a bad play here. Here I go for Scald and I get the burn, so that's why I got the Scald burn. He's gonna step a layer of spikes, so now we know. I think no, he's got 3 moves that we've seen. So I just keep Scalding. Another thing is I don't have Tail Glow. I have Acid Armor instead, in case I need to 1v1 the Dracovish. Or it's great for the Swampert, honestly, and just if Hoopa was physical, which it's not, but he's gonna get 3 layers of spikes up. As I should have been Acid Armoring here, like, just in case. I mean, because my Scalds aren't really doing much for me. If I had Tail Glow, I could probably really do a lot here. As he's setting up spikes, I could just go for a Tail Glow. But alas, I did not have that. So he goes for Power Whip. It doesn't do that much at all because he's burned, so that's great. Without that burn, it would just take so long to kill this thing. So I go for a Scald and knock him out, so that's great. So in comes, I believe, the Hoopa. And I know, okay, I'm max HP. Maybe I can take a hit from this thing. I do take a hit. It does a lot, but I take it. I go for Dazzling Gleam. It does like nothing. I mean, I know I'm not invested, but that's definitely AV. So we're gonna let our Manaphy go down, because if it switches back in, it just dies to hazards. So Fiesta comes in and lives on 2%, so we live in. It goes in Pelipper here, and I really wanted to predict that and go for the Sunny Day, and I could just Solar Beam something and do a lot of damage, but I didn't. So that is the case. Now I was expecting probably like a Roost here. I died this turn anyway. He makes a weird play in my opinion. Goes into Hoopa. I get the 30% burn, which is great. If he doesn't switch into Hoopa, if he just stays in and I don't know, kills me or something, or goes for Roost, then he basically just, I think he just wins there. But since his Hoopa's this weak, I can just Freeze Dry, right? So I go for the Freeze Dry, knock this thing out. And all I need is for the Hail to be up, right? So he's gonna go into Pelipper. And I switch here, you know? I think the only way he beats me here is if he gets a sub up with Swampert. I don't want him to get a sub up as I switch into Licky Licky. So I'm gonna go for the Licky Licky play. But I'm an idiot because all he has to do now is switch into Swampert. My thought process was I don't want him to go for sub. The chances of that happening are so low, and right when I switched into Licky Licky, I knew it, but I can't switch back into Vanillux because I'm gonna die to rocks or hazards. I was just hoping that he didn't make this move, but he did. So it wouldn't have even mattered though, because even if Licky Licky, I don't know. I choked that game away. I'm gonna get 1 kill here, but all he has to do is switch into Pelipper here, get the rain back up, and then he wins. So if I had Hail, that would be pretty cool. That'll be pretty cool, but I don't. He's gonna bring in Swampert and win. So I took this game away. I literally had. He showed me the team afterwards. He had Yawn, which wouldn't have really mattered. He didn't have any other setup or anything like that. So if I just freeze dry there, his Pelipper dies, brings in Swampert. I sack off my Licky. If he wants to Yawn, that's fine. Eventually he has to kill it. I'll bring in Vanilluxe on like 1% health and win the game with freeze dry. So that sucks, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it now. So I just hate reliving it. So my website will be in the description, and see you guys.